Hi, Kawashi here. Now, I've been thinking quite a lot about Queen's Hot Space album these past few days. I'm certainly listening to it a lot. Now, it's in some senses what may be considered the weakest Queen album, but I think by reordering the playlist, then it can become a lot more accessible. Now, I was considering that the current, if this was considered to be an LP, the current side one is the dancier tracks, the synthier tracks, the least familiar tracks for the average Queen listener. Now, the least familiar kind of tracks for the average Queen listener. Just Roger Taylor's Actions This Day on number 5. From side 2, you get a lot more of the traditionally Queen sounding tracks, some rockier numbers, and of course the big single there, Under Pressure. Now, last time the big single was right at the end of a Queen album would be A Night at the Opera back in 1975 when they had Bohemian Rhapsody. However, while there was a lot of variety, in fact I would say more variety on that album, A Night at the Opera, it seemed like because of the no-synth policy at that time, things were analog, they were acoustic, and even when things were changed around, with different styles coming in every time, it was still familiar territory for the average Queen listener. Whereas here, they lead with 4 disco numbers. And I think it lost people. People tune in and switch off within the first 3 tracks. It doesn't matter within the first track. It doesn't matter what comes after that because they're already annoyed. They're already puzzled by what they're hearing. And they miss a lot of the quality material. However, by shifting it up, so this now represents the start of the album, leading off with the big single, like on News of the World. It's something that the average listener can understand, and they can feel a lot more mellow by the time they reach side 2, and they're readier to embrace the new songs. I think that could be all it is. However, there's one more thing I recognized. And that is that it seems to be ever so slightly lopsided. One side has the 6 tracks, one side has 5 tracks, whichever way you want to put out the pieces and calculate it. I think just one more song. And I would have been hoping for something from Brian May, something that Brian could sing lead to. Something a little bit rockier, maybe something acoustic. 6-string acoustic guitar. To fill things out. I mean, that's the realm of fantasy, obviously, and it couldn't possibly happen now, but I really would have liked to hear more of Brian's singing voice. It's Roger Taylor, his number is a shared lead vocal with Freddie Mercury, bumping up to number 2. With this organization, the songs are coming in couplets and themes. The urban condition, tracks 1 and 2. People on streets. We've got criminals living on this street. Las palabras de amor, calling all girls. We hear the words of love. The message is love. Then put out the fire. You need a bullet like a hole in the head. Lenin is a genius living in every pore. The gun debate. Dancer. Gonna die without it. Can't live with it. Gonna die without it. And staying power. You and me got staying power. The terpsichorean arts. Moving from the political to the purely relaxing. Cool cat. Queen meditates on solitude. And then 4 and 5, body language, back chat, the value of silence. Don't talk, don't talk. If I'm ever going to win, I've got to get the last word in. Survival to the end, like you've died and born again. Well, I'm not certain if these are 100% perfect quotes, but to put it all in a nutshell, okay, just move the more familiar tracks up and put the dancey tracks at the back. People don't switch off at the beginning and they're ready to embrace the things at the end. Now back chat, I feel that's the real follow-up to Another One Bites the Dust. It's got a wonderful, almost U2-like riff to it, and I think it's a classic. And I think this whole album can be more of a classic with just a little bit of playlist magic. Give it a try. This is Kawashi. Out.